Good afternoon and welcome back to Worldview here on KTN News. So the United Nations Development Assistance Framework will spend 7.3 billion shillings in the next 4 years for the Kenya-Ethiopia cross-border integrated program for sustainable peace and socio-economic transformation. Kenya's Cabinet Secretary in charge of National Treasury, that's Henry Rotich, and his Ethiopian counterpart witnessed the signing of the Transformation Multi-Partner Trust Fund Memorandum of Agreement between Marsabit County, Turkana County and Borana, as well as Dawa zones of Ethiopia. The cross-border program was launched in December 2015 by Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta and Ethiopian Prime Minister Haile Mariam Desalegn in a partnership conceived and developed by the government of Kenya, the government of Ethiopia and the United Nations.
Last December, with the EU Trust Fund for Africa, 63.5 million euros, a 3-year project in 3 cross-border areas of Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia and Sudan to address the drivers of instability, irregular migration and displacement, and support peaceful cross-border cooperation and sustainable economic growth. The cross-border areas which will be targeted are southwest Ethiopia and northwest Kenya, covering South Homo Zone in Ethiopia and parts of Turkana and Marsabit counties in Kenya.
This program seeks to realize a reduction in violent conflict, marginalization, poverty, and underdevelopment, which have been a hallmark of the north-south pastoralist borderlands of Kenya and Ethiopia. The objective is to transform the region into a prosperous, peaceful, and resilient community through capacity-building programs and creation of alternative livelihoods and cross-border trade aimed at reducing poverty, inequality, poor quality and low education levels, inadequate access to basic health care and unemployment, especially among the youth, and sustainable and effective utilization of resources of the region.
It's fully also consistent to sustainable development, especially addressing inequalities. These areas are, even though overall countries are not fully developed, but these are most vulnerable areas, pastoralist areas, which have been, most people are under poverty line. So inequalities will be addressed, equities will be addressed, inclusive development will be addressed.
This is a historic initiative. It's a model that we hope, if successful, and it has to be successful, because you heard from the Minister of the Treasury of Kenya committing to ensuring that the resources are available and that this is a priority for our government. You've also heard from the State Minister of Finance of Ethiopia committing resources already to this initiative. And so I think we're in a very good place. With the framework having been signed and in place, with resources coming through, not just from the government, but from our international partners. And we're hoping that we can emulate it actually across the continent. We have many hotspots on the continent that have conflicts raging as a result of scarcity of resources. And so what we need to do is focus our people's attention on development, tell them that we can actually share the resources, that we can share prosperity.